Hey guys, how you doing, and welcome back to another video from GT Sports Mates. So you're with us here at MAGGIORE. 2 races once again, myself here in the Mustang, John up in the top right corner in the Subaru. 5 laps, how will we get on? So we're already on the way, as you can see, coming down to the first corner. Always a fun corner, the first corner in any race, because you're guaranteed people are just going to start pushing the way through. However, as you can see, surprisingly enough, it's not happened and we've all got round pretty well. So far, this race has actually started very, very good. Unusual for this channel. If you're new to the channel, please have a look at the other videos. You'll see exactly what I mean. Normally, one of us gets taken out immediately, but so far, not too bad. So, MAGGIORE. We've been doing MAGGIORE a little bit more lately. It was one of them tracks that we never really did all that often. Not because we didn't want to, it just never really came up. But it seems to have got a little bit of a following going on lately, so there's a lot of racing going on here, and we're going to be a part of it. So yeah, I hope the races are good here. It's not a track I particularly excel at here in the Mustang. You'll see as we go on, John in the top right corner, who is in first, he tends to do a lot better at this track than myself. The reason we're not watching John at the minute is because I'm in fourth, so there's a little bit of action going on ahead of me, and that's what we like to do. We're just keeping the camera where the action is. As I go up the inside at the big bank corner, a little bit of contact. Instantly, I'm going to slow down though and make sure the guy in second keeps that position. I have suffered majorly from doing that. However, I wouldn't have felt right taking the position after contact, so the right thing to do is to give it back, although I have now dropped down to 6th place. But it's the right thing to do, and that's the important thing. Always do the right thing. I hate people who decide it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to take you out, it doesn't matter, I just want to win the race. It just ruins it for everyone. So yeah, giving the position back. And as you can see, I'm not exactly out of the fight. You know, John's drove off. There's a massive gap between first and second, but second to 6 where I am, they're all pretty close together, so I'm not out of the race at all at this point. Braking hard into the first corner. I'm going to go up the inside of the Subaru though. He does have the outside line, but he just gets his back wheels onto the grass and then he just gives me a little tap. You know what? Nothing in it. No, elbows out. It's fine. Fairly clean racing. There was nothing in it. It wasn't malicious. Just a bit of understeer and whatnot. But I'm going to look for another inside line. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to get up the inside. Not going to happen against the Subaru. I've tried that many a time against John and his Subaru. That Subaru out corners the Mustang all day long. As you can see here, it goes round the outside. I take a slightly narrower line through there. Not ideal, I'll be honest. But the Subaru will all day long outmaneuver the Mustang. So I've really got to pick my battle well here as to when I'm going to overtake, if I get the opportunity to overtake the Subaru, because I've got to make sure we're at least coming on to a straight. As I pick up a half second there for track limits, silly mistake, but we're coming on to a straight. And as you can see now, I've got a bit of a better run. Yeah, that might have been because of the slight track limit error, but I have got a penalty that I've got to get rid of, so I haven't got away with that scot-free at all. Braking very hard now into the bank corner here. The BMW going all the way around the outside. I mean, well done. You know, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. He took a weird line through there. Most people try and hug the apex as much as they can. He went round the outside, got it to stick, up into 4th. Fair play. Nothing I could do about that. But we are now in 5th place. Still got a bit of a penalty to get rid of. Nothing too major at this point. Now John, as you can see, top right corner, well, yeah, he's gone. To be fair, second's also managed to pull away, so there's a big gap between first and second and third. But third, fourth and myself are all still fighting it out here as we come down the left-hander onto the home straight. Very short home straight this, not much in the way of slipstream going to go on. You'll gain some time to the cars ahead, as you just seen I did, but not a lot. Bit of contact there. The BMW is going to go off. Is he going to contact back? I thought he was going to do it. He's got around. He's lost a bit of traction. He's dropped a couple of positions to it. A little bit naughty there from the Mercedes driver there, contacting the side of the BMW and then not repaying the position. However, not everyone likes to race clean, as we've said. But, you know, that's not for us to worry about. We're coming down now. We're in third. Look, somehow braking very hard. This is probably the hardest corner on the track for myself. The BMW goes through, and then I am going to get absolutely destroyed by the Subaru, who he taps the back end, and that's enough for me to just go bye-bye. So, yeah, my race so far, was going well, and then all of a sudden, not going well at all. Down to 8th place. I mean, I never expect to do well at this track, I'll be honest, but I was doing fairly well. I just got up to 3rd place halfway through the race, so I was doing something right. And then someone comes along and decides, you know, they're just going to take you out and then drive off. That's the worst part. If it had slowed down and repaid the position, I'd have been fine with that. But now I'm overdriving. I'm in the gravel, well, the sand, and now I'm in a wall. So yeah, it's not been a great race for me, as you can see. We're going to jump to John. Now, I know we said we're going to keep the camera where the action is, but, well, John's way out in front and I'm way out behind. So there's really no proper action going on. John is closer though. The guy in second has managed to catch up to John here. So there's going to be a lot more action going on here than where I am. Unless something massively goes wrong to the guys ahead of me, I'm not going to catch up anytime soon. But as you can see here, the guys all over the back of John here on the penultimate lap. So this is going to be a very, very interesting race. The Subaru John is in, superb car in the corners, fast corners as well. It excels, and there's a lot of them on this track. However, he is up against the most OP car probably on the game. The Toyota Supra it's just so overpowered in every respect. It's superb in the corners, it's superb in the straights. It's not the fastest in a straight, and it's probably not the greatest in the corner, but it is so good, regardless of where it would rank amongst all other cars. It's so good in both areas. It's a deadly car to come against, and a lot of people choose it for that reason. It's just such a good all-rounder. Very overpowered. John has to go defensive into the big bank corner there. Just runs a little bit wide, gets 2 tyres on the sand, and the Supra is gonna come through. John was super lucky though to not spin his car, as I did just the lap before, doing the exact same thing, 2 wheels into the sand. John doing a much better job at handling that issue over me. But John's not out of this. He's not out of this. The Supra may be a phenomenal car. Big snap of oversteer for John there. And that might just about be it. The Supra is going to drive off. Now, for anyone who's new to the channel, please don't just assume this is it. We don't know. We have seen John come back from much worse at much later in a race. He just has an ability to do so. Now, the guy in first clearly can drive. He caught up to John, who'd got away. He really had got away, and he managed to catch up. So he's got some skill, the guy who was out in first. But sometimes people overdrive, as I do quite a lot when I'm trying to catch up. But ignoring that, sometimes other people overdrive, and when they do, they make mistakes, and that's when you've got to be ready to pounce. But it is a big ask. It is a big ask here on the final lap. However, to say that it's not been a good race for both of us would be wrong. It's been a fantastic race for John. Yes, he was leading from the get-go, and he's just dropped down into second place, but it's still been a very, very, very good race for him. He battled it out for a lap against the Supra, who got past with, I'd say, a very, very marginal error from John there, just getting his 2 wheels onto the sand. But, you know, apart from that, it was a great battle. So it's a bit of a shame that he got so much understeer, which is very oversteer, should I say, sorry, which is very unusual for the Subaru to oversteer so badly. But sometimes it just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. But, you know, that's racing. You know, sometimes things happen, like getting taken out by a blue Subaru. Not holding grudges. No, of course I'm not. But I'm actually up into 8th place. We've managed to catch up and overtake somebody. You can see in the top right corner there's nobody really ahead of me. So 8th is probably going to be where I finish. But you can see on John's screen that I'm at the bottom of the list, but there are 9 drivers. So yeah, I have actually caught up and overtook someone. So I'm going to take that as a small victory. I don't know. Round the last corner for John there, the very difficult final corner, so easy to run wide and go off track there. John does it perfectly well. Across the line for a 2nd place finish. Superb result, superb race from John. Hats off to the guy in first. He had to catch up, and he did. I'm going to come around in not such a faster fashion than John would in the Subaru around these corners. The Mustang not great around these bits, but you know, I'm going to come around, I'm going to take a P8. The guy in 9th, if you look at the map in the top right, is a fair bit behind me. I don't really have to worry. Across the line, I'm going to come now for a P8. So it's not been a terribly bad race for one of us. Well, it has for one. But anyway, that's all we got time for. So thanks for watching us, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, see ya.